What is up? You know what it is. It is Monday, October 19th. Ryan and Joey coming at you, your allies behind enemy lines, your Washington football podcast that happens thoroughly behind enemy lines. We're holding it down in Cowboy territory here in Texas. Like, rate, subscribe, review. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, hopefully you've already done that. If you're watching us on YouTube, hopefully you've already hit that subscription button and rang that notification bell. So every Monday and Friday, you are notified as soon as the latest and greatest video is uploaded. Joey, it is Monday. Things are getting a little bleak. Things aren't great right now. A lot of people are at a crossroads with this franchise. So what else is new? How's it going, man? How was we got to hang out and watch the game this weekend? First time this season. Definitely we're expecting a different outcome. Definitely we're expecting a better performance. But all things considered, I mean, it was a good weekend. Got to hang out. Got to see my little boy for the first time. So things like that. That was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. That was great weekend as far as connecting and seeing other people and sharing moments with relatives and whatnot. Great weekend for that kind of stuff. As far as sharing moments with our Redskins fans or Washington fans and franchise, not so much, I should say. Like you said, a franchise in turmoil. It's been, I guess, continually in turmoil. I mean, whether we're going the right direction or not, you got every critic in the book right now, pointing the fingers in every direction. So just got to keep moving forward.
Yeah, we are moving in a direction, like you said, whether it's the right direction, in the left direction, what direction it is, we are moving in a direction, I would say. Not a terrible performance, not the greatest. I think everyone's gonna, it's gonna boil down to the one call of Ron Rivera to go for two when we clearly should have gone for one. And not even being revisionist history, not even, saying, hey, why, we should have gone for two only because we should have got to kick the field goal because we didn't get it. When it was happening, we were like, what are we doing? We've got to go for one. I mean, our defense was holding them. Our defense was playing, great. They scored a touchdown on a fumble, a scoop and score. So our defense was doing good at holding them. And, you got to trust your defense. And obviously, we don't convert the 2-point conversion. We don't even get an opportunity to because Kyle Allen kind of backpedals and throws up this pass and, never had a shot. Looked like he had an angle to run it in. I still think he does. I know you kind of thought that maybe the linebacker was going to get there. Talked to a couple people, seen a couple people on Twitter saying, hey, he probably should have ran it in. I think if he tucks, makes the decision to go for the pylon and stretches that ball, I still think he gets it. But that's neither here nor there. Obviously, we missed a kick early with Dustin Hopkins. And, it's just Kyle Allen didn't play bad. He didn't play good. But at the same time, like what I was saying, I said to you while we were watching the game, like, you're telling me Dwayne Haskins can't do that? Can't do what he did? I mean, yeah, he had 8 carries for 40, or excuse me, no, he had 2 carries for 8 yards. We can get that from Dwayne Haskins. We can, there's a lot of things out there that Kyle Allen did that I don't think Dwayne Haskins is too far behind. I don't know if they're just, if this benching again was just disciplinary, but I just don't know what's going on right now, man.
I feel you, man. I feel you. There is a sense of confusion, and I think from fans and maybe even from the organization at times, or maybe there is a plan there. But I know, just reacting to what you just said there most at the very end there about Dwayne Haskins, and what you did say here is, yeah, he could have done that. I'm sure he could have done that. Maybe even won the game. But it goes back to whether or not you have the guy or not, and I always likened it back. I think I did years ago when we first started doing this podcast, where we're talking about whether or not to keep Kirk Cousins was about that girlfriend. Whether you're with a girl or not, she's kind of cute. You think you guys could have a, decent relationship, Is it worth it? Is that you want to commit to? Go right ahead. Or do you want to hold out and have yourself the guy, the one for you? If you're convinced, I had a person tell me a long time ago, and it was at a party when I was young, and he was talking about women. It's one of those just drunk ramblers at a party standing by the keg, just never leaves. And he was just talking, like, some people listen to him, some people wouldn't. And I remember him saying something like, if you're with somebody and you're not 100% sure that they are the one, get rid of her, because you're going to be missing out on the best opportunity of your lifetime. And I saw it, and that message has stuck with me just throughout my life, obviously in that regard, but in so many different things. When I hired a manager, when I employed people, if I hired an employee, it's like, why would you string things along if eventually it's not going to work out? And if you have, that's one of the the drawbacks to being intelligent is you pretty much always know what's going to happen. There's no suspense in life. There's very rarely are you surprised when you kind of can predict what's going to happen. And, after a long line of watching football for, almost 40 years now, I can kind of see when guys, what they have and what they don't have. And I don't think Dwayne Haskins has it. I don't think whatever he has, what we're looking for, does he have enough to be maybe a Tony Romo on his best day? Maybe. I don't know this, but that's not what I want from this franchise. I want better for this franchise. Whether it be someone who's overachieving, who puts in that work and actually goes out there and delivers. Yes, I want to have someone like that in our franchise. And if Dwayne Haskins is not that guy, then put in someone who wants to be there. If that's not the guy, then again, go to the next one. Obviously, we all want to win. We want to see victories, but I don't want to be stuck 8-8 for the next 10 years because we have a decent quarterback. So as far as that situation is concerned, as Dwayne Haskins, I think that maybe the plan all along was to see what he had, see if he really wants to give him the job, and then see what he does with it. And I think we did that, and we saw what he did with it. Better, obviously on the field wasn't so bad, but off the field I think was where the worst part was. And I think they said, all right, now we're just going to have to look either getting one through free agency and to just play out, see what players we have on our team and be competitive and move on from there. And I think the franchise has made that decision. So I can be on board with that if that's truly where it's going. But again, then let's see what we have on the franchise. Get everybody out there. Let's mix some things up and let's see what we have.
Well, I don't disagree with what you're saying. I mean, Kyle Allen's not that guy.
He's not. He's not. I don't think he is either. I mean, I'm just saying.
So
we're got to put somebody in there.
Yeah, we're kind of stuck in this purgatory right now of what we're gonna do. I don't think Alex Smith is the guy. I know you still are holding out hope. I know, and that's fine until we see, for sure one way or the other. I think it's perfectly normal to be holding out that hope. But getting back to the game, I mean, like I said, we were stopping them, holding their defense, or excuse me, our defense was holding them. Our offense was doing all right. We're matriculating the ball. Obviously, we had the interception Kyle Allen threw early in the game, and then the fumble that really kind of turned the tides when we looked like we were driving and moving a little bit. Terry McLaurin was doing his thing, got the ball to him. Dontrell Inman got a couple big first downs on third. When we were third and medium, third and long, he was kind of moving the ball for us. The running game wasn't terrible, wasn't great. I'm looking at the stats here. If you take out Kyle Allen's rushes, we had 22 rushes for about almost 80 yards, 78 yards. So, I mean, the running game still has to be better. We're still kind of going back and forth between J.D. McKissick and Antonio Gibson. But we were doing enough to win this game. And Ron Rivera said in the press conference, I learned this game one way, and that was to play one way, and that was to play to win. In my opinion, going for two wasn't playing to win. You were going for the win. You were going for the win, no doubt, but that was not playing to win. If you were playing to win, you would have taken that game into overtime. Whether we get the ball first or not, our defense was playing really well. Say what you will against a lackluster offense, but I mean, we're getting the necessary stops. So he wasn't playing for the win. He was playing to win. And I think that was a big difference. Or I said that backwards. He wasn't playing to win. He was playing for the win. There at the end, and he's still, his answers in the press conference are still kind of irksome to me, where he's like, well, we're still in evaluation mode. We're still, and again, I'm the biggest tooter of the horn of we weren't built to win games. We're not built to be a playoff team right now, so that's fine. But at the same time, like, when you have games you should win, you need to absolutely win them. That decision to go for two yesterday, that's a team that you make that decision if you're playing the Chiefs and you have the chance to win in Kansas City. If you're playing the Packers in Green Bay and you have the chance to win, if you have a good team that you have a chance to beat, that's when you go for two. When you're playing the Giants, the 0-5 Giants, who really haven't done a whole lot for you, against you the entire game, you take that game into overtime, trust your defense, trust your offense to get the job done. And I still highly, highly disagree with that decision to go for two. And again, we shouldn't have been in that position because Dustin Hopkins missed that field goal. But again, you can't look at it back that way either.
I mean, you're playing to win a battle, and when you should be playing to win a war, and that's a simple one-on-one, like you said. If you're playing a team like Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes, where if they win the toss, they're probably gonna go down there and score a touchdown, then of course you go for two. This is our last chance.
Yeah.
This is our last chance. But you weren't playing one of those teams. You were playing a team that did nothing in the second half. So that, we possibly, I don't even remember how many timeouts we had at that time. We might have been depleted a couple, actually. But we possibly could have stopped them, if they were going to try to push the ball and got the ball back with 37 seconds left. Who knows or whatever. But again, we'll never know. We'll never know because you made the all-in choice there. Not to mention, you didn't have a play. You didn't have a play. I mean, what kind of play? I mean, what was the play there? Was it Antonio Gibson at the goal line? Was that what the
Yeah.
play was? I mean, that was. I mean, what do you guys think they're going to do? You know, we hadn't been running the ball effectively, like you said. We were averaging under 4 yards a rush, and so they know they're going to sit back in the zone. To spread out what I would have done and sit there and make him pick you apart, which he was not going to do, or like you said, tuck it down and run. But that was a terrible 2-point call. I'm not asking for a Philly special, but I'm asking for something that gives gives multiple options to the quarterback to be able to all in on Antonio Gibson at the goal line. That was just showing that. I mean, if you're a defensive player on that team that just fought that hard, what did that tell you? That what he thinks that you can't do? They don't think we can stop the Giants. So again, there's domino effects to all of these decisions you make on the field like that. And yeah, I think it was a terrible call that Ron Rivera did not give his offense a chance to go to overtime and show that they can win the close ones. You got to show you can win those type of games too. As well as any other type of game. So I don't know what the thinking was there. All I know is that like you said in the press conference, he starts talking about stats. When it came out before, that was what was being harped on for Dwayne Haskins. So you can't sit there and be a hypocrite and say that we say the stat that counts the most is the win or loss. And when you can't sit out there and say, "Oh, Kyle Allen did well," oh no, he did do well. He did do well, but we're not. You can't just can one for doing that and then sing the praises of another. So as far as what we should do as far as shaking things up. Antonio Gibson, you brought it up. The running game is just not there right now. And I don't know if it's Antonio Gibson is the guy to be running the ball right now. I think, he did not run a lot in college as we thought might be a plus. He played way more receiver in college. Why don't we put him at receiver for a while? Why don't we stick him out there and try something different? Get Peyton Barber back there, where you can get some kind of two guys run at the same time. Or McKissick, where you have two guys. So we need to shake it up as far as we are so predictable. I can predict what we're going to do, and this is a brand new offense. This is supposed to be a brand new offense, and again, it's on the defensive side of the ball. They did do what we thought they would do as far as bringing DeShazer Everett and benching Troy Apke. But again, that secondary, shake that thing up as well. Get Montez Sweat out there guarding a running back sometimes. This guy is faster than hell. You know what I mean? Like, I do it how I use him in Madden as a user, man. That guy can play sideline to sideline, and he's huge. You can use that type of stuff. Shake things up a little bit. Put Chase Young in tackle. I mean, I don't know what it needs to be able to do, but that line needs a spark on the defensive side of the ball and the offensive side of the ball, and doing the same thing, expecting different results, is the definition of insanity. How many times have we said it again?
Yeah, and I'm pretty close to going insane myself watching this team because it's just so frustrating. Again, I am not expecting to win 9, 10, 11 games. Did I think we could have had a chance to do that earlier this season? Absolutely. I mean, of course. I come in with sky-high expectations. But again, when we lose like this, when we lose to a team like this, it's just so frustrating because the wheels are spinning and you're not going anywhere. It's just you're stuck in a mud puddle or whatever. When you're just spinning your tires, your car ain't moving anywhere. It's just that's the frustrating part. That's the frustrating part. It's like if you could see a little bit glimmer of hope, then you're like, all right, cool. There's something there. There's something there. Like you said at the top of the show, we're moving in a direction. I mean, who knows what direction it is? At least if you could see that, hey, yeah, we're inching forward a little bit, then yeah, that's awesome. But we give up we give up a couple big runs. We gave it the big run to Daniel Jones right after they show the graphic of how many 40+ yard plays we've given up. We've given up 8 on the season, and the Giants had 1. We've given up the most, and they had the least. And literally, like 2 seconds later, he busts off that run for 49 yards. It's like you couldn't have scripted it any better. But like I said, their offense really wasn't spectacular. I mean, Daniel Jones was 12 of 19 for 112 yards. Devontae Freeman, 18 rushes for 61 yards. Like, our defense was doing the job. It's that big scoop and score fumble that Kyle Allen lost. And obviously the interception putting them in short field position. I can't remember if they scored off that interception or not.
Field goal. They got field goal.
They got a field goal off it. So, I mean, look, there's 10 points right there, and we lose by 1. We miss the field goal. That's a 13-point swing right there. It's just crazy. It's crazy. 13-point swing right there, and then it comes down to a 2-point conversion where, like you said, it was a terrible play call. I hate when quarterbacks when you're short distance to the end zone and you have the quarterback roll out because you cut off half the field, and so now the defense only has to cover half the field, and you only had 2 guys over there. Cam Sims got pushed out of bounds because he was running towards the sideline. Terry McLaurin was trying to cut back across, and he couldn't. And so again, poor play call there. The defense wasn't terrible at all. The defense was good. Who was it? Fabian Moreau got torched on the touchdown. So what? You know, that happens. He just got absolutely, like I said, he got
That's
burned.
bigger play Slayton. Bigger play Slayton. I told you about him. You got to watch out for him.
Yeah, no doubt. And Daniel Jones, you know, Danny Dimes, he put the throw right on him. So, you know, you can't fault him for that. You know, it is what it is. A good pass, good route, whatever. You chalk it up to, you know, you charge it to the game. That's technically what they're supposed to do, right? But it's just that's the frustrating part. Is like it, you know, it could have been such a different game, such a different game. You know, one play here or the other, just a decision, one play here or the other. Today, I can't remember if it was yesterday or today. Ron Rivera, he said in his press conference that we're not making a change at kicker. Dustin Hopkins is going to be the kicker. So again, expect more missed field goals. The first thing we said yesterday after he missed that field goal was, why is he still on the team? Like he always
does this all the time.
Like we are used to it by now. Like I'm more shocked when he makes field goals than when he misses. And you know, it's just that should be the case. But it is what it is. He's still in evaluation mode. Again, fine. I agree. But when you have a chance to win a ball game, win a friggin' ball game, Ron. Win a friggin' ball game. And this was a game that we should have won. And it was right there. It was right there. I mean, it was just baffling. Baffling.
I think by easily dumbest team on the field. We talked about it on Friday. Just not being the dumbest team on the field. And when you're making decisions like that at the end of the game, I'm sorry. You're the dumbest team on the field, and you deserve.
Oh, 1,000. Yeah, 1,000%. Yeah, we were. This was the dumbest team, the dumbest game of the week, the not dumbest. And guess what? We were the dumbest. The Giants were not the dumbest. We were 1,000% the dumbest. You know, it's just it's unfortunate. The fortunate thing, I mean, we made it out of it. They're healthy. Well, I say that Sadiq Charles did go down early, so we had to put Wes Martin back in there at guard. Or excuse me, no, we got Schweitzer in there. Schweitzer in there at guard with Brandon Scherf, so it was good to see Scherf back out there. But I mean, other than the touchdown catch by Logan Thomas, he's going, you know, back of the end zone. Nice little toe drag swag. Tony two taps. Shout out Antonio Brown. That was a nice catch. The Cam Sims touchdown was nice. You know, great catch. His first one, so shout out to him. His first touchdown in his I guess young career, I could say. But I mean, those are really the only bright spots for this game. It's just I can't say more about our defense. Our defense played well. Kendall Fuller. He has the big interception after pass interference call. So I mean, obviously, again, tip your hat out to him. Good play there. That's what we got him for. That's what we need him for. But again, I don't know if you can tell my voice, my demeanor. It's just exhausting. It's exhausting. Like, you know, like I said, if this is a game against a good team that we go for 2 and we lose, fine. Because it's like, hey, we were right there with them.
Leave your nuts on the table. You leave your nuts on the table.
Exactly. You know, I know Riverboat Ron got his nickname because he gambles, but the gambler said famously, you got to know when to hold him, know when to fold him. And that one, you just fold and kick the field goal and go into overtime. And I think Riverboat Ron sank the ship there with that game. And it's brutal. It's brutal, man. You know, we got a couple tough games coming up after this. So this was another one that we, you know, needed to get to kind of right the ship. We got the Cowboys, then we got the Giants, so hopefully we can get one back from them there. And then we got the Lions and Bengals after that, which who knows, those are both toss-up games. Bengals are kind of good, kind of not, just depends on what team you see showing up. But right now, shoot, I don't know if I can expect us to win another game the rest of the season.
Not making decisions like that, and not playing and making mistakes the way we did. You know, that was my next question for you, is what next? And yeah, it was unfortunate that Sadiq Charles did get that, you know, that start, you know, who we didn't get a chance to see what he's going to do. I think it was the first or second play of the game that he did go down with a dislocated kneecap. So he's not going to be, you know, in action for this week.
Or probably for a while.
For a while. Brandon Scherf get back out there, you know, instill some confidence. And, you know, I think a hint, you know, I guess a ray of sunshine as you're searching for, is I think we have the best wide receiving core that we've had in a long time right now. You know, and it's, you know, it sucks they're going to waste as far as McLaurin. I mean, we don't have the dropped, think about it. We don't have the dropped passes, the craziness that we used to have as far as, you know, the long bombs and right out of his fingers. We don't have any of that right now. Mind you, we don't have a lot of long shots down the field to be missing, but still, I think our wide receiver play has been, overachieving, if anything. Obviously we had our expectation for Scary Terry, but other than that, I think we had zero expectation for anybody. And I think, like you said, Inman's come in, played really stellar. I think, Isaiah Wright showed some promise there. We took that step backward, still got that first down yesterday, but showed some promise and being a bigger guy that can get the ball in his hands. Cam Sims, me and you have both been a fan of him and wanted to see him break out. Looks like that he's getting more and more opportunities. We know he's an aggressive guy on special teams, but if you get him more in that lineup, we can see what he can do with the ball in his hands. So there is some rays of light within there. But as a franchise, is it time to, as what they say? Do they have a saying yet? It's STINK16, or are we going for a STINK16?
I know. I was trying to think of one yesterday. It's funny you say that because I was, we had suck for luck. We had
suck for the duck. Suck for the duck.
For Marcus Mary or for Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
And a couple other ones like that. But yeah, I was trying to think of one for Trevor Lawrence, and I couldn't quite come up with one. So you're good at stuff like that. So maybe if you come up with one.
Stink 16 was the only one I got. Like a sweet 16, but you want a stink 16 because you want number 16, and there's 16 games. And I don't know. That's the best I could come up with.
Hey, the little entendre. I didn't even get the 16 games part first. I just thought you were talking about his jersey, but hey, I don't hate that.
We want a stink 16 season. But I think that And it goes back to everyone. Well, we just need a quarterback. You know what? We do need a damn quarterback. We need a good quarterback. A good quarterback. I don't know a lot of good quarterbacks. Again, I said it a few shows back. You can't keep a good quarterback down. So given no line, given no whatever, you put a good quarterback in there, he's going to find a way, a la Joe Burrow, to be effective. To be able to do things out there and make plays. So. If we're not going to we need to find the guy, whatever it might be, whether it's through free agency, getting someone like Sam Darnold who's cast off, if for some reason, some other guy becomes available throughout this season that we think might be able to come in and who we think is, elite or nor elite, like someone like Deshaun Watson, someone like that, or Dak Prescott. Or we're going to go out there and get somebody like Trevor Lawrence, hopefully. But we need somebody that we can rely on, because if not, it's just one of those things. Like when have we had somebody like that? RG3. Yeah. RG3 was the only one that we ever had that kind of faith about. In your lifetime, and I'm going to say my lifetime too, almost. That we've never had that quarterback. We've run quarterbacks with nobodies in my time, but we've never had that somebody that came in here and just led our franchise for a number of years together. We need to find that. I think that's what's missing from this franchise, is that type of presence on the field, to know that a team like someone like Aaron Rodgers. Or even I'll throw Matt Stafford in that conversation. You're always in the game with guys like that. Pat Mahomes, you're always in the game with guys like that. No matter what the score is. We need to have someone like that on our team. And until we do, I don't think we're going to be any good.
Yeah, no, it's unfortunate. It's just kind of a broken record. You're absolutely right. We need the guy. We're looking for him. If you know him, send him our way. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, it's tough. It's brutal right now. I'm looking. Kendall Fuller leads the league in interceptions. He's tied with Xavier Howard over in Miami. Like, we have guys that are making plays on the defensive side of the ball. Obviously, we got Terry McLaurin, who was right up there as far as receiving yards into I believe last week he was like top 5 in receiving yards. So like we have guys that are obvious threats and obvious guys that can do big things in this league. But we got nobody else. Terry McLaurin, 7th in the league in receiving yards right now after yesterday. So it's just, it's brutal when you see things like that. When you see guys all around making plays, we got to solidify that offensive line a little bit better, and we got to get a top-notch signal caller. And until that, I think we just got to expect more of things like this. I'm hoping a lot of this is Ron Rivera being
by design.
Right, yeah, like being in evaluation mode, and he's literally just taking it as, let's see what we got, let's see what we don't got, and we'll figure it out real quick, and then, come 2021, we'll know, and that's what I'm hoping for. But if we see another year of similar stuff, I know it's a quick trigger, but Ron Rivera's not going to be my guy if that's the case. I want to stand by him. I want to think that he's got the right mindset and the right head on his shoulders, and I'm hoping that he is just treating this as a cleanup job. He's coming in, he's separating the trash over here, he's separating the recyclables over here, out with the trash. Let's see if we can repurpose these recyclables and get in some new stuff in here to see that see what works. But until we start seeing a little glimmer of hope and seeing what direction we're headed in, I mean, I think this is what we got to expect as Washington fans. I know you guys come on here and watch us and listen to us, wanting to see us hype it up. But shit, what is there to hype up? There's nothing to hype up. Like I said, we have a couple pieces, we have a few pieces, but until that signal caller back there is the guy, I mean, it's just not going to be the case. I mean, you look at any good team right now, they have a good quarterback. It's a quarterback league. It's a passing league. Even if we are better at running a balanced offense, that's fine. But it's just, if you can't make that play when you need to, I'm not putting this loss all on Kyle Allen. I don't want that. And I'm not putting I don't even know what the word is, the lack of success of this season so far all on the quarterback position. It has a lot to do with it, but it's not all there. Some games it was our defense letting up big plays. Some days it was our offensive line allowing 8 sacks or 10 sacks. But it's so there are some holes, there are some pieces, but again, until we find that lead signal caller who's going to be here and who's going to produce at a high clip day in and day out, week in and week out, I mean, this is what you got, boys. I hate to break it to you and girls, this is what we got.
This is what we got. And as far as I think you said, hopefully this is by design, that that we are in evaluation mode, and that we and no matter what's going on, the truth will be told. The truth will be told in this coming off season. I hate to look through this whole season and look at it as a wasted season, but even if we do end up somehow turning this around, winning 7 games, winning 8 games, and winning this crazy division, do we want that? Do we want the 16th pick in the draft and losing our first playoff game? I don't think so. I don't think you want that. I don't think anybody on this this organization wants that. So we definitely got to make sure, we talked about it before, if we're going to get value, we got to start thinking about the future, which is picks and, and clearing up some cap room. So I think that's kind of, the most hype we can be right now as far as in this moment is see who we have and who we're keeping. And like you said, put them in piles and separate them. And then by the end of the year, if we can replace those with good piles, because you put it this way, I mean, it all depends, so much depends on what you're doing with your franchise. Everyone knows, like if we're gonna get the number 1 pick or number 2 pick or whatever, and people know we're gonna get someone like Trevor Lawrence or have a top-notch signal caller, how much easier it is to be able to get linemen on free agency or be able to get wide receivers in free agency. It's all connected, or to get defenders in free agency. That's all connected. I mean, yeah. You think Le'Veon Bell wanted to come to us? No, he wanted to go where Patrick Mahomes and all these great players were. That's what we got to do. You got to, if you look from an outsider's perspective right now, we're on the outside, obviously, but we're more on the inside than most, than the rest of the league, as much as we follow this team. And the thought is that we look confused. Our team looks confused. Would you want to come into this? Maybe if you're in the last year of your contract and just want to make a check, yes, like a lot of people have done with us. But if you're someone that wants to go out there and win turn a team around or win a ring, people are not going to be coming to Washington.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. Yeah, you got to make this a destination spot for free agents, and not just for the leftovers. But no, so I agree. Yeah, it is all tied in. We were talking a little bit of trades and moves we could make, both to either accumulate talent or accumulate picks. I think picks is kind of the direction we want to go in. But a guy who allegedly wants out of his current situation, a guy that's been a playmaker, a spot that we could use, David Njoku out of Cleveland, I don't know if he's formally requested a trade, but he has told the Cleveland Browns that he wants out of Cleveland before the trade deadline. I mean, I like Logan Thomas. He's not doing too bad of a job so far. Obviously, we have Jeremy Sprinkle to be our blocking tight end. I mean, is David Njoku a guy that you bring in and kind of not build around, but make a part of this young, talented group? Because I mean, he's only 3 years out of college, I believe. I think it's only his 3rd year in the league. So I mean, he's a playmaking type tight end who is a receiving tight end, gives us another option, gives us another weapon for whoever our quarterback may be in the end. So I mean, I don't know what the price is for a guy like that, but if it's not too high, I wouldn't be opposed to going out and trying to make a move for a playmaker, for a guy that we've seen can get it done. He does have some injury concerns, does have some health concerns, problems stay on the field sometimes. But at the same time, a lot of that, you got to wonder how motivated a guy is to get back out on the field when he is injured, and things like that. So, that's a name that I saw today. I was like, hey, I wouldn't hate bringing him on. But at the same time, is that one of those guys where you could trade for him, but also, he could be released at the end of the year because the Browns are just done with it? Because I believe this is the second time he's requested a trade just this year. that you could have for free, other than the money that you'd have to pay for them. So you got to start thinking about things like that. I know we're week 6 now, but we got to start building towards 2021 because it doesn't look as crazy and as bad as this division is. If we can't be the Giants, I think we just need to start looking towards 2021 and seeing what talent and what picks or any other collateral we can accumulate to put ourselves in a better position.
And that's, when we see ourselves doing that, I think a lot of it's like you and me as well. We'll be a lot more on board with what Ron's vision might be. When we see actual moves that are looking towards the future, and trying to rebuild this team, like you said, from the inside out, and clear some cap room, clear some space, make some moves, start preparing. And I think that's will instill a bit more confidence that there is some kind of master plan. They're not just doing knee-jerk reactions every week. So the best we can hope for, I know we do have a game against Dallas this week, and we will preview that on Friday, is that obviously we don't let the Cowboys beat us, but but do we want to win?
Yeah.
I mean, I've become the Jets and the Jaguars' biggest fan right now because that's the two teams around us. I think the Falcons will continue. I mean, they're a way better team than everyone else in that group, I believe, of the 1-5 teams. And so I think they'll find their way out of that. I do believe the Giants, we'll be back and forth with them probably throughout the year. The Jaguars, I do think they're a more challenging team than us, believe it or not. They do have a lot more pieces in place, and they'll win a lot more close games, I think. So it looks, if the Jets can win 1 or 2 games, we would find ourselves. I mean, it's funny, we said it like last week, I was all saying, when we start losing, and it becomes more of a reality, maybe I'll start listening a little bit more to this Trevor Lawrence talk. But it's just 1 week away, and we're right there at number 2. And so I'm like,
Some of you perked up pretty quick, huh?
They did perk up pretty quick there. So come on, Jets. We got Joe Flacco out there, I know, but come on, Flacco, you got something left.
Right. People forget Joe Flacco was elite at one point. I mean, it's
he was
true.
an MVP. It is an MVP caliber quarterback.
I know, wild times. But yeah, I mean, we've been talking and having the conversation of do the Jets move on from Darnold if they do get the number 1 pick or number 2 pick? And we aren't the only ones that have had that conversation. I've seen a lot of stuff on Twitter. A couple people have said, the Jets definitely think about it, which I think is crazy because the quarterback is not their problem. It's literally everything else. Get Adam Gase out of there, and they got some really good pieces. Quinnen Williams on that defensive line. They have some decent pieces, but right now when Joe Flacco and Frank Gore are your quarterback and running back, you're in trouble. If it was 2009, you're sitting prime, but it's 2020, so unfortunately that's not the case. And Jamison Crowder is your number 1 wide receiver. Meanwhile, Robbie Anderson's out in Carolina tearing things up. So the Jets have kind of made bad decisions every turn. Shocker, not really, but yeah. So yeah, we definitely, and we know that the Jaguars, if they're there, they got to be looking for a quarterback. Gardner Minshew is not an NFL franchise quarterback. Darnold, I think, is. Gardner Minshew is not. So if we wanted to get Trevor Lawrence, we need to start rooting for them. We need Jace Robinson to tear it up a little bit more at running back. We need Miles Jack to keep tearing it up at linebacker for the Jaguars. DJ Chark, Laviscus Chenault.
Yes, Chenault. I was just gonna say Chenault's the one I know.
They had Keelan Cole. He went out for like 100.
Chris Thompson, come on, Chris Thompson. Where you at? Chris
Where
Thompson?
you at? Come on, help us out, bro. Help us out. Throw your old squad a bone or two. So I mean, it's unfortunate we've come to this position in such a short amount of time. From hey, things aren't looking so bad. The division's pretty bad. We're looking decent. To now, it's like, well, come on, number 1 pick, baby. So it's. I was hoping we could at least wait till like week 8, week 9 to start looking towards the draft. But here we are, week 6, and it's become a reality of, man, do we stink.
Man, do we stink. And this is, again, so much hype on this defense. This defense. And, again, they didn't play terrible yesterday. But, we are far, we still definitely have a lot of pieces that need to be filled in this team. And, just got to start, again, move forward. What can we do? What's the next step we can move? Do we focus on... I think, again, I go back, we need to shake things up because I still don't know. I'm still not sold on Antonio Gibson as our running back. We need to make sure that we have, a running back in place, and we're going to bring in a elite quarterback, to make sure to complement that as well. So we got to do some house cleaning, look around, make sure we have people there that are going to be able to produce for us in their current position. That's what I think these next couple of weeks should be about.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. I think Antonio Gibson has something there. He kind of last week especially really showed me he's kind of coming to his own. I think that offensive line needs to get a little bit better, and we just got to stop being so predictable on offense, and I think that'll help him a little bit as well. As we shift to good news, if you did back my picks plus 2.5 and under 45, both winners, double. So if you tailed me there, congrats. If you didn't, sorry for your bad luck. Now you're a double loser because Washington lost and your picks lost. Welcome to my world a lot. But that was kind of the only positive of the day. Like I said, we'll see where we start transitioning to moving forward.
Eagles are pretty boneheaded, I guess, on their 2-point conversion. They had a timeout that they could have just rushed into that. So I mean, they went second place of not the dumbest team of the day. But mind you, they were playing the Ravens. They were playing.
Yeah, exactly.
They were playing an 0-4 or 0-5 team at the time. So
right.
I think they had a little bit more room for error there.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think they had to go for 2 to tie it up. But even if they didn't, I think that's the team that you go for 2 against.
Exactly.
If you're losing, so. We'll wrap it up there, put a bow on it until Friday. I'm sure something will come out. Something will happen between now and Friday. It's never a dull moment around Washington Park and all the happenings that are going on there. We'll see, we'll see what happens because, like I said, we never have a lack of content coming out of DC with this team.
And then we're sorry for being so negative or pessimistic, but what
do you want from us? What do you want
exactly?
From us?
You don't want us sitting out there. Well, golly gee, guys, it's a great week. We're gonna go out there and try next week. Heck no, we are allies here. We are all of us as allies. We are upset right now. We are frustrated. We are confused. We are right with you, and we're gonna do the best we can to hold it together, and still support what we have on the field. But we need to see the staff and the team meeting us halfway on this stuff, guys. Come on.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I think you can, any of our listeners or viewers that have come back and have been here since the beginning, of this season to now. I mean, yeah, we probably got a little bit over our skis a little bit, saying that, hey, we might go 9-7. I mean, predicting all these wins. I wholeheartedly admit it. But again, we had sky high expectations. Should we have tempered them a little bit? Yeah, maybe. But still, like I said, there was new coaching staff, new president, all this new stuff, new
terrible division.
Terrible division. Like there was a lot of factors working towards us. So, it may have looked like we were those guys where it's like, hey, everything's great, everything's gonna be awesome no matter what. But now you see the reality of what's really going on. It's just like we ride the waves just like this. We ride the ups and downs just like any other general fan and any other Washington follower who's been along for the ride for the last 20 plus years of misery or 40 plus years for Joe. It's been a wild ride, and like I said, the ups and the downs, you got to ride them. You can't just be high all the time with the team. So it is what it is. Joe, you got anything else before we wrap up, bud?
Just that don't be discouraged, guys. Don't be discouraged. It's always the darkest before the light comes.
Facts, but the unfortunate thing is we might have to wait till 2021 for that light to shine down on us. So,
well, it might get a little darker then. It might get a little. It might get just a little bit darker before 2021.
Might be just a little bit darker, but until Friday, again, rate, subscribe, review on Apple iTunes, subscribe here on YouTube, or ring that notification. Actually, not and ring that notification bell. Leave some comments below if you're riding with us. If you think things are as bad as we may seem. Maybe you see a different light at the end of the tunnel. Let us know. Sound off down in the comments. Something you might want to see a little bit more of, a little less of, all that good stuff. But until Friday, we are your allies behind enemy lines, holding it down. We got the Cowboys playing tonight. Shoot, they could lose too and put us right back in this thing. And we might be all happy again on Tuesday because, hey, we can still win the division. But again, we really want
birds
that.
Would be fluttering. The birds might sing another song before too long. The birds.
It's true.
The fat bird has not sung yet. The fat bird hasn't sung yet. So
That's facts. So we are your allies behind enemy lines. Until Friday, we'll see y'all then.